A white Florida woman decides to get extremely racist at a black woman. Here it is.
You ugly you're a ugly.
Yeah, this one's going to be a doozy. Let me give you the backstory. A young woman the other day, a young black woman, is in Tampa, Florida, driving into Brandon, Florida. She's dropping her young daughter off at daycare. She said she saw a truck behind her at one point, like a few cars back, swerving and honking. She thought something was going on, had nothing to do with her. She pulls into a right-hand lane to make a right-hand turn, but the sign says, no turn on red. So she's waiting for the light. She's turned, kind of talking to her daughter while she's waiting. And then she hears a bang on her door. She turns around and there's someone standing there. And she said her first impression was that it was a police officer because of the gun. She said this woman was at her door with a firearm and a holster on her side, her shirt tucked in between her body and the gun. She could see it clearly. And then she kind of realizes what the woman's saying. She's yelling, you stupid N-word, you and your monkey baby, you're going to make me late, and making threats. Then she walks away, gets in her truck, and drives around and blocks her in. They actually miss the light. The light turns green. This woman who's running late makes them miss the light and is still screaming. At that point, it's when she pulls out her phone and starts recording. Let me quickly say this video is going to freeze up at a moment. There's something corrupt in the file when she tries to send it, but the audio is still playing it. It's not you, it's the video. But just watch what happens.
Yep. Bother me, you ugly you're a ugly like your baby. You learn how to drive before you kill her. Yeah. What's that gonna do you? Yeah.
She said once she saw the phone, she took off. So she kept recording, hoping to get a clear shot of her plate. And this is where she was going anyway. That woman turns right, she is as well. But then for some reason, she thinks that woman thought she was following her, actually stopped and got in behind her. And then said she followed her, she'd come in front of her and brake check her, then get behind her again. Finally, the victim pulled into a parking lot with this woman right behind her and started honking her horn to get attention because she was afraid this woman was going to do something. And then this woman took off and was finally gone.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. My dear brother got more. Here it is.
Unfortunately, the footage she recorded of her plates looks like this. So I'm going to try that thing they do in the movies where they zoom in and say enhance, and it clears up the image. So enhance. Oh, that worked really well. That's really clear. Yeah, unfortunately, that whole enhance thing doesn't work. But this is her plate. And you might think, oh, that's wonderful. Someone saw this happening and actually got a good shot of her plate. Nope. This picture wasn't taken by someone who saw what was happening to her. This picture was taken on a totally different day by a totally different black woman who had almost the identical experience with that same woman. She said she was driving and had that woman in that truck cut her off and almost caused an accident. So she honked at her and the woman flew into a rage, started swerving and screaming. So she flipped her off and tried to keep going. But instead, then she got in front of her, was brake checking her. She said, I could not get past her. I literally had to go on the grass to get around her. And then she came speeding up to me with her window down, calling me an N and my baby daughter an N baby. My daughter was so frightened once she seen her showing a black object that we both assume was a gun. That sound familiar? Like the one she had on her side? She said when she pulled out her phone and started recording her, she sped off, but she zoomed in and got the plate. And just so we know they are the same person, this is the picture the second victim took. The first victim didn't realize in that video where she was yelling at her that she actually got part of her plate at the tail end of it. And you can see it's the same. AZ61TW. It's the same woman in the same truck. Now, I'll say this. I have a name, and I'm confident it's the right name for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is this criminal traffic record. But I'm not going to put it out there yet. It has been given to police, and they are working on this. They're taking it seriously, and I appreciate that. But I wanted to put this out there because, one, I think I'm going to have people contact me who confirm that name. And two, I kind of think we're going to find more victims. I think we're going to find more people who have had similar encounters with her, and I would like to talk to them. So Tampa, and especially Brandon, Florida, do me a favor. Someone tell me, who is she?
Tizian did a great job. We've had him on the show before. We'll definitely have him back again. Very good fact-checking and reporting. Put it up full mass. We have a little more information. The black woman caught the moments this white driver decided to go on a racist rant, slur-laden, a disturbing road rage incident in the state of Florida. One of the internet's most popular fact checkers is Tizzy, and Michael McWhorter is his name. According to Tizzy Ant, the black driver, who he implies sent in the video, was heading to Brandon from Tampa to drop her daughter off at daycare and spotted a truck swerving in and out of traffic behind her. After the black woman stops at a red light in a turning lane, the truck merges into the same lane behind her. A traffic sign notifying drivers they can't make turns at red lights is posted at that intersection. So the black driver waits for the light to turn green, and you heard the rest. All right. This is dangerous. And then she's doing this with children in the other vehicle and making sure she's aggressive with those children. And if she's flashing a gun, well, that's menacing. That's against the law. You have no reason to pull a gun. You have no reason to acknowledge you're going to shoot someone or be that aggressive in traffic, and obviously racist and bigoted. But I can guarantee you one thing. She voted for Trump. All right, Jordan, thoughts here?
Yeah, I don't know what the appropriate punishment is for somebody like this. Surely you would want to see that traffic record and the criminal offenses enforced. But I also think when you have somebody who is like this, who is so reckless, driving a truck, something that is several thousand pounds that can kill somebody, just take their license away. Let's just start there. I'm not saying throw them in prison. I don't know what that would change. I don't know what kind of re-education you could do to help them unlearn this racism. But at the very least, this person should not be able to drive a car, because not only are they racist and aggressive in their racism, they are also like dealing with road rage problems. Like that's a terrible mix, and it puts innocent people in harm's way. So at the very least, this person should not be allowed to drive a car.
Yeah, and she's armed.